Hello, my name is Deanne Day, and I am a professional certified life coach. And today I am going to talk to you guys about how to self-coach. But before I get into that, I do want to share a little bit of my coaching background. So I was initially certified through Coach Training EDU, and became a professional certified life coach through the ICF program. And most recently, I became an LCS coach through the Life Coach School. And I am most proud of this certification because it taught me to do something that I'm so passionate about, which is coaching on the mindset. And so, because I focus on mindset, I'm able to coach my clients on anything that they want, because your mindset impacts everything, right? So if I'm focused on your mindset and you're focused on getting a result, it doesn't matter as your life coach, it doesn't matter to me which result you're focused on. All I need to do is focus on coaching you on your mindset and helping you develop the mindset that you need to get the results that you want. And that is exactly what I do with my clients. Okay, so before I can get into self coaching, I need to talk a little bit about what coaches do. And so that way, because if you're self coaching, you're basically doing to yourself what your coach will do with you or to you. And so coaches help their clients really get specific on the goals that they want. They really help clients to kind of dream bigger and not be afraid to go for the goals that they want, and just kind of get like really detailed on what it is they want so you know exactly what you're working toward. We also help clients with self exploration. So, learning more about yourself, becoming more aware about yourself, about how you react to certain things, about how you think about certain things, about how you respond to certain things, right? Because the more you are aware of how you are and how the way you behave or the things you do are impacting you, then you can take a close look at that and then figure out, okay, do I need to make some changes? Is this helping me? Is it hurting me? Right? And then you can make informed decisions on how you want to move forward. And we also help with self management so that you are responding and behaving in a way that's going to help you get what you want, responding and behaving in a way that you feel good about, you feel proud about, you don't look back and have regrets about it. And we help you identify just problem behaviors, things you might want to change, or things that are keeping you from getting what it is that you actually want. Sometimes we can't really see what the problem is. Like, we know we're not getting what we want, but we don't understand why. We don't understand what's holding us back. And so a life coach can help you see that and help you understand that and help you move past that, solve for that, so that you're no longer doing that thing anymore. You're no longer holding yourself back. We also help you to take actions, and actions that are actually aligning with your actual goals. Because sometimes the actions that we take are the exact opposite of what it is that will help us get our goal. And so in that case, we're self sabotaging. And sometimes we might be self sabotaging and we don't even realize it. But a life coach can help you see that you're self sabotaging, see how you're self sabotaging, and help you understand maybe why you might be self sabotaging, and then come up with ways to overcome that so that you're no longer doing that and you're able to accomplish more. We also help our clients start to perform at higher levels and to design the life that they want to have, like create the life that they want to have for themselves. And we do it like this picture that you see, I feel like is a really good example of what coaches do and how we can support our clients, because as you can see, the person in the bubble is in their comfort zone. right? And so a lot of us are in our comfort zone, and that's the reason why we're not accomplishing more and getting the things that we want, because we're staying in our comfort zone. Well, in order to reach some of the goals that we want to achieve in our lives, we have to leave that comfort zone bubble and go out to where like which can be scary. So go out to where we're like learning more, and we have to maybe face some fears when we're doing that, and we might have to be uncomfortable when we're doing that, and we might have to learn new things and grow, right? And sometimes experiencing fear, having to learn new things, having to figure stuff out, not knowing what you're doing, being confused, right? All of those things makes you want to run back to your comfort zone bubble. But a coach will help you develop the mindset that you need to face those fears, to be willing to grow, to be willing to learn as you go, to be willing to take chances so that you can get to the goal that it is that you're trying to receive. Also, the coach will help you become who it is that you want to be, because you have a vision of how you want your life to be, what you would like things to be like, the person that you want to become. So maybe you want to become someone who does yoga every day, or maybe you want to become someone who has written a book, or someone who owns a successful business, or someone who is athletic, or someone who I don't know, whatever, someone who has a podcast, someone who is a mompreneur, right? So there are so many different things that a lot of us want to become. And sometimes we don't become those things because we're not, we want to stay in that comfort zone bubble. The coach helps you become the person that you want to be, right? So who is it that you want to become? Right. And a quote that I love is the difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. That's all it is what you do. Are you managing your mind? Are you taking those actions? Are you doing the things that it takes to become the person that you want to be? It's all about what actions are you taking, and you can become that person, and your coach will help you do that. All right, so now let's jump into some qualities of what a good life coach a good life coach possesses different qualities. And it's important that if you were going to self-coach, that you understand these qualities, because you need to understand what it is that your coach is doing so that you can go and do it to yourself or to your brain. Sometimes I like to say, like, to my clients, you have to coach your brain, right? Because it kind of separates you from your mindset, or you from, like, it kind of divides you into two people. Even though you're coaching yourself, there's you and then there's your brain, and then you are coaching your brain. So coaches with good qualities do a good job of listening. They're being very attentive. They're listening with curiosity. They are just very curious about what it is you are thinking, what you did, why you did it. Just listen, just being curious, right? There is no judgment. Coaches do not judge their clients. Coaches listen to their clients. They don't judge what their clients do. They don't judge their clients' actions, and they don't judge the way that their clients think, right? And that's what you need to do. Because a lot of times when we do something that we're unhappy with the result, then we're hard on ourselves and we're judging ourselves and we're saying mean things to ourselves, right? Imagine if you had a coach that did that. You can't do that to yourself if you're going to self coach. You cannot do that. So you need to take that off, get rid of that, because that cannot be happening if you're trying to self coach. It won't work, because all you're going to do is kind of notice what you're thinking, learn different things about yourself, and then beat yourself up for it. And then you won't be able to truly grow because you're too busy beating yourself up instead of coaching yourself. So do not judge your actions, your way of thinking, the mistakes you make. Just focus on learning from them. Coaches also build relationships with their clients. And so you have to trust your coach. Your coach has to make you feel comfortable. Your coach has to make you feel like what you say is safe and you are in a safe space when you're with your coach. So then you need to be doing that to yourself. So you can't be judging, right? You need to trust yourself to not judge, to be compassionate, to be safe, so that you're going to not get beat up, right? You're not going to beat yourself up for the things you did. So you need to trust that when you are in the mode of self-coaching, that you are in a safe space and it's okay that you're thinking these thoughts, and you want to just kind of be curious maybe about why you're thinking these thoughts and kind of learn from those thoughts and observe those thoughts, but you're not judging them and you're not like punishing yourself for having those thoughts. Coaches also ask great questions, right? To make their clients think deeper on a deeper level, to have more awareness, right? That's why coaches ask these questions. The clients will get more awareness of like why they do certain things or what caused them or why they felt like it. Just asking really good questions and challenging the client's way of thinking, because a lot of times we might see things one way, right? But there could be 4 or 5 or 6 different perspectives that you can have, and some of those perspectives you can benefit from having them. Having a different perspective could help you see things differently, can help you respond differently, can help you feel differently, and in turn, you'll get a different result. So don't be afraid to challenge the way that you think about certain situations, because you could benefit from that in the end. And how do we know that the way that we're thinking is the correct way, right? Why not open up our minds and see, like, trying on different thoughts and what the benefit of those would look like? All right. So basically, self-coaching is this process of guiding your own growth, that you increase your self-awareness and you're enhancing your self-management in order to perform at a higher level, right? So you're more aware, you understand yourself more, you're being more intentional about how you respond to things, the things you do, the way you spend your time, what you choose to listen to. You're guiding yourself through becoming more intentional, right? And managing yourself. So let me break it down. I went over the 5 qualities. Now I've broken down how you can implement these qualities, or what these qualities would look like if you're actually taking yourself through a self-coaching process. The first thing you need to do, remember I said the first quality that I listed was coaches listen with curiosity, right? They listen attentively and with curiosity. So the first thing I want to advise you to do is what is called a thought download. And a thought download is when you write down all your thoughts. So maybe you have a certain goal, like maybe you want to start a business, or maybe, yeah, you want to start a business, but maybe you have a lot of thoughts about starting this business. Like, I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know what it takes. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. It won't work. I failed in the past, right? So you want to be aware of what you are thinking and kind of be curious about why you're having those thoughts, right? But you need to put your thoughts on paper so you can see them, because yes, we know, you feel like you know what you're thinking, but when you take time and you write them down on a piece of paper, like all the thoughts that come up, you will be surprised at the thoughts that you are having. And then when you look at them, it's like, no wonder I feel this way. No wonder I'm behaving this way. I can't believe I'm thinking that. You know what I mean? Why am I thinking that? Like, that's not even true. So writing the thoughts down so that you can see them will help you become more aware. It's kind of like if you have a messy room, right? And you just got stuff everywhere, and you ain't been in that room in a while. You go in, you looking at the room, you don't really know everything that you have because stuff is everywhere and you can't see everything, right? But once you start cleaning it up and getting things in order, you can see everything that you have. You can see things that you want to get rid of, things that you might want to sell, things that are valuable, things that you forgot to give back to someone. You can see everything, and then you can decide like what you want to do with what you're seeing. But if you have everything all jumbled up, you don't even know what you have. You just know you got a lot of stuff going on, right? So it's kind of like that with your thoughts. You don't know what's going on. It's kind of like you just got a lot of thoughts in your head and you can't see how they are impacting you. You can't even see what they are really, because a lot of times we don't sit there and just are able to like know every single thought that we're thinking, right? And that's a way of listening because you're writing them down. Now you can see them and you can look at them, and it's kind of like you can understand maybe why you might be feeling a certain way or responding a certain way, or get and I said they listen with curiosity. So get curious, like, why am I thinking like this? What's causing me to feel this way? So, and then I said the next thing is you don't judge. So when you see all those thoughts and when you see everything that's going on in your head, the first thing you want to do is judge yourself because you're thinking the way that you're thinking. I want to encourage you not to do that. Coaches don't do that. So if you're self-coaching, don't do that to yourself. If you're coaching your brain, don't judge your brain for how it's thinking and how it responds to things. We're not judging, we're learning. We're becoming more aware. We want to be curious. So don't judge it for thinking that, but get curious on why are you thinking that? Okay? You want to build trust, a trusting relationship. So you want to be able to trust that when you do these thought downloads and you see all the stuff that you might be thinking, all the craziness, all the mean thoughts, all the harsh on yourself thoughts, all the mean toward people you love thoughts, all them crazy thoughts, because it's a lot going on in there. I know. I know from doing my own thought downloads, and I know from coaching all my clients, we got a lot of stuff going on in there. But you need to build trust so that you know, like when I do these thought downloads and I have this awareness, I'm safe. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm going to be compassionate. I'm not going to judge. And so you build that trust. So then you feel more comfortable doing the thought downloads. You don't walk away like wanting to beat yourself up all day because you're mad because, or you're shocked that you're having these thoughts. So you got to be able to make it a safe, non-judgmental space where you are compassionate, you're learning. And if you do that time after time after time, you're going to build trust. You're going to be more comfortable with the process of coaching yourself. All right. So the next thing I said is that coaches ask great questions. Okay. And I've listed some good questions. One of the first one is like, okay, now you've identified all these thoughts that you have. So get curious. Okay, like now, how do you feel when you think this thought? Okay, one thought I always have, like whenever I set a goal, whenever it's something I want to accomplish, my thought that always comes up for me is, oh, I'm not like, I'll be thinking I'm not going to accomplish the goal because I never follow through. The thought I have is I never follow through. And when I think that thought, so how does that thought make me feel? When I think that thought makes me feel discouraged. Okay. So when I ask you, how does something feel? How does your thought make you feel? I just want to know a one-word emotion that you can kind of attach to that thought, that kind of like the one emotion that you feel when you think that thought. And I feel discouraged when I think that I never follow through. Okay. I do like to use my feelings wheel. That's what you're seeing right now is a feelings wheel. Because sometimes it's like we can't think of all these emotions, but it's good to have like a feelings wheel in front of you, and you can kind of see the feelings and kind of be like, how do I feel? And then sometimes I'll bring these up in my sessions. My clients will be like, it makes me feel. And then they pick the perfect emotion. So there's nothing wrong with taking time to look at a feelings wheel so you can tap into like how you are actually feeling, because you want to know, you want to get it right. You want to know how this thought is actually making you feel, so you can make the connection. When I think this, I feel this way. And then when I feel this way, what do you do when you, what do I do when I tend to feel this way? So if I'm feeling discouraged because I'm thinking that I never follow through, then what I tend to do is nothing. I'm not working toward the goal. I'm thinking of all the times I didn't follow through. I'm trying to think of do other stuff that don't have nothing to do with my goal because I've just decided like I don't follow through. So what's the point? Why am I even working on it? So I just start doing other stuff. It's kind of like I almost ignore the goal, like it's there, but I just ignore it. I won't work on it. And it's because I think I never follow through. Okay. So, and how is thinking this thought and feeling this emotion impacting my progress? Well, if I'm thinking that I never follow through and I'm feeling discouraged and I'm not doing anything, I'm not working toward the goal, it's impacting me because I'm not making any progress. I'm not doing anything. It's almost like I gave up on my goal. I set a goal, decided that I never followed through, and then don't work on it. Okay. And then why am I choosing to think this thought? Like because we have a choice in what we think. We don't have to think certain thoughts. We get to choose what we want to think. That's why so many people have different perspectives. The same incident can happen. It could be raining outside, and somebody could be mad and was like, oh, it's ruined. It's a horrible day because it's raining. It's ruined everything. Another person can be like, oh my God, I love the rain, free car wash. Another person could love the rain and want to run through it. Another person, sometimes I've thought this, oh, thank God it's raining. I don't have to water them flowers. Thanks, because I didn't want to go out there anyway. Do you see what I'm saying? There's so many different perspectives. There's so many ways to feel about one specific thing, the same thing. And that's because how each person is choosing to think about it. So why are you choosing to think this way? Why do I choose to think I never follow through and knowing that I thinking that thought, I'm not making no progress? Like, why am I doing that? Right? So the next step is you want to challenge your thought, challenge your way of thinking. Just because you thinking a certain thought, just because I'm thinking that I never follow through, that don't mean it's true. It just means that's a thought that came in my head, right? So ask yourself, is this even true? And for me, no, I never follow through. What do you mean? I'm a life coach. I'm recently certified. Recently got another certification. So I had to follow through to get that certification. I had to follow through to create this self-coaching video that I'm making right now. I had to follow through to keep clients. I had to follow through um getting my home, to keep my home, to keep the things I have. So yeah, I follow through. But I'm gonna tell myself, oh, I never follow through. And it's a lie. And then I feel discouraged and then don't work on my goals because I'm up here believing a lie. See, that's what I'm saying. We have to challenge the way that we think. Okay. What assumptions am I making? Ask yourself, okay, what assumptions am I making? Because sometimes we just assume stuff. And so we're assuming stuff as if it's true, as if it's fact, as if it's law. How else may I view the situation? That's a good question to ask yourself because it kind of opens you up to consider other options. What am I not seeing? What am I not acknowledging? What could be a more empowering thought? So if I'm thinking I never follow through and I'm feeling discouraged, and so I'm not working on my goal, I'm not getting nowhere, a more empowering thought that I could think would be, I don't know. I've accomplished a lot because of how I follow through. Mm, okay. I like that one. I've accomplished what I had what I have because of how I followed through. And how do I feel when I think that? I feel proud. And what does it make me want to do? It makes me want to work toward accomplishing more. It makes me want to take action. It makes me want to get up. It makes me want to do something. Do you see? It's empowering, and I can choose to think I followed through. I forgot the thought. I've accomplished. I have what I have because I follow through, or I could choose to think I never follow through. Like it's a choice. Now I will have to train myself to think the more empowering thoughts. It might not come naturally, but my brain will catch on. It'll get used to it. It takes work, it takes effort. I have to remind myself to think those empowering thoughts, but it's a choice. I get to choose how I want to think, right? And then think, if I wasn't afraid, what's the first thing I do to solve this issue? Like if you got an issue, if you got something going on, if you got a situation, if you're working toward a goal and you're holding yourself back, if I wasn't afraid, what's the first step I would take towards solving the situation? Okay. So basically that is like the rundown. That's how you can coach yourself. You can use this video, you can stop it, you can pause it, you can ask yourself these questions. You don't have to ask them all. You can ask some of them. Whatever feels appropriate for whatever situation you're in. You can make up your own questions. It doesn't matter. But the key is the main thing you got to do is do a thought download. Write down all your thoughts that you're having. So maybe you have a goal. Write down all your thoughts about the goal. Maybe it's about a person, somebody getting on your nerve. Write the person's name and all the thoughts you're having about that person, and then challenge it. Like, go ask some of these questions about the thoughts that you're having. Okay. I encourage you to do this by getting a self-coaching journal, which can be a journal, right? Buy you a cute little journal. It's an excuse to buy something cute to write in. Or you can just use some Google Docs, create a folder on your computer and just type it up and keep everything in the same folder. Have an electronic journal. Or if you want to go buy one and you like to write, it's good to write because when you write, it takes longer. Like when I write down my thoughts, it takes me longer because I write slower than I type. And it's kind of like I'm with that thought more. I'm noticing it more. I'm like, dang, what? Like, this is what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? And it's like you're kind of with it longer. You're more aware of it. So sometimes writing it can be because it kind of slows you down and make you really look at what you're thinking. Okay. So definitely you got to get a journal because that's how you coach. How can you coach yourself when you don't even know what you're thinking? It's all about becoming aware of what you're thinking, being curious about it, figuring out if you want to change it. How are these thoughts impacting you? But you can't do all that if you can't see what you're thinking. So you got to write it. You got to get a journal. All right. So if you guys have any questions for me or any comments, you can comment below. You can reach out and contact me if you like. You can email me with any questions you have and I will respond. You can find me on Facebook. I have a page called Deanne Life Coach Day. YouTube channel, Coaching Daydreams. My website is Coaching Daydreams. And for 2024, I am offering 1 month of free coaching to at least one person each month. So if you are interested in winning 1 month of free coaching with me, scan this QR code right there, fill out the little form, and every month when I go to pick my clients, I'll pick like 1 to 2 people each month, except for the month of March. I will pick 1 to 2 people and I will coach them for free for the month. So basically that's we'll meet once a week. It'll be virtual and it'll be for 60 minutes each time. And it's gonna be some good coaching, you know? So if you want to experience a coach, if you're kind of curious about it, sign up. Sign up. I already got my first 2 winners. for the month of January. So I'm excited to be working with them, and hopefully you'll be my next winner. So thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate you. And get you a journal and get started on this self-coaching because it does make a difference. I guarantee you, especially if you do it consistently. See you next time.